not had this many people out of work since the country started tracking the unemployment rate back in 1948. Take a look at this number. We can't say this enough. It's huge. 20.5 million Americans have lost their jobs. Those are real people with real bills, real families that need to be taken care of. The layoffs over the last 2 months have been so severe that they wiped out 11 years of job gains. Action 9's Jason Stujenki is continuing our live team coverage. Jason, try to go in and put this more into perspective for everyone.
Yeah, well, Erica, just think about it. Back in February, not too long ago, of course, we were in great shape, actually the best shape in about 50 years. Unemployment was down to just 3.5%. Can you believe that? 3.5%. But then here we are, just a few months, and all of that good just washed away. Everyone wants to compare this to the Great Depression, where just like today, the nation saw lines at food banks. But we can't. Modern record keeping started after World War II. What we can say is this: it's the worst since then. So the worst in more than 70 years. The hardest hit areas: leisure and hospitality, food and beverage, retail, education, and health. I know health sounds surprising during a pandemic, but think of all the medical practices that have cut back. And the government says the real figure may be even worse than 14.7%. Its survey takers classified a lot of people a certain way, so they didn't factor into the total unemployment figure. If they had, the feds say April's jobless rate would have been more like 20%.
We've been surviving, you know what I mean? Like, we've been able to make it. But it would help having that extra income so that way we know we're not going to, because like I said, you know, with the shortages and everything, we don't know what's going to protect, we don't have no protection for the future.
And of course, now a whole new layer to all of this. You have all these businesses that can reopen. So in theory, a lot more folks can go back to work. So coming up at 6, I'm asking if all of that is enough to stop the bleeding and maybe turn things around. Erica?
Well, Jason, I know that you've also been getting a lot of calls from people who've waited hours to get a hold of someone at the unemployment office. Have you heard from them that has gotten any better?
Yeah, they've continued to make changes at the State Department of Commerce. Even this morning, I heard that the Commerce Department is hiring another 1,000 people for the call center to take calls. So that should about double the staff handling these claims.
All right, that's good news. Thank you, Jason. A nearly 15% unemployment rate is terrible, but it's not even the true scope of the crisis. You heard a bit there. There are still millions of Americans who were not counted in that number. The report only counts workers as unemployed if they were out of work and searched for a job in the past 4 weeks, or if they were on a temporary layoff. It does not count the millions of workers who lost their jobs and did not search for work because of the stay-at-home orders.